GOPAC's chairman is David Avella. He is with us now. So are you behind these attacks on Donald Trump, David?
No, Stuart. GOPAC doesn't endorse in the presidential race, and you give me the wonderful opportunity to come on and offer a fair and balanced look at the state of the race and how candidates are performing.
Okay. Let's suppose it goes to the convention, and it's a brokered convention. I say that the Republicans lose in that event, because all those millions of people who voted for Trump, if he's not their guy, if he's not your guy, the Republican guy, they don't vote, and I don't think you can win. What do you say?
Stuart, the reality is the overwhelming majority of Republicans are going to support the nominee. That for Donald Trump or whoever our nominee is, what I hear from donors as well as the reaction from the crowd at the debate the other night in Detroit is they believe the Republican nominee should be supported. We have been working for 7 years to get away from the agenda of President Obama. We're not going to allow Hillary Clinton to be that third term. Let me also say that this was all underscored by the RNC chairman, Reince Priebus, getting on the debate stage the other night in Detroit and saying that the party is going to unambiguously be behind our nominee.
Okay. What happens if Donald Trump doesn't have the 1,237 delegates that he needs at the convention? He falls just a little shy. Then it goes to a brokered convention. If Donald Trump... What happens if you deny the leader in delegates the eventual nomination of the Republican Party? That's my case. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure you can win like that.
Well, Stuart, that's what this whole process is about. Look, Republican nomination process, just as the Democrats, is not one big national poll. It is 50 states casting their ballots, sending delegates to a convention where the party, through their delegates, picks who the nominee is. That's why, and this isn't talked about too much, but that's why this who becomes a delegate is so important. And smart campaigns right now are making sure their supporters are the people being elected, however the state's process is for selecting a delegate. They're making sure it's their supporters, so that if someone doesn't go into Cleveland with 1,237 votes, their supporters, via delegates, will make sure they become the nominee. There's so much more to becoming the nominee than just the national polls that are going on, and in addition to each contest casting their vote. Because here's another stat that isn't talked about, Stuart. In order to have your name placed in nomination, you have to have won a majority of the delegates from your state in 8 states. So unless you're even nominated, you can't be considered, unless it goes much later. But then the delegates have to adopt rules that allow someone else to ultimately become the nominee. It's a rather complicated process, but it goes to, let me just add one more thing. It goes to what Albert Einstein said. You have to know the rules, and then you have to be able to play the game better than everyone else using the rules.
Yeah, but you're going to lose if it looks like it's a backroom deal. And I think that's a fact. You know, I know you're playing by the rules, but if the rules are all carried out in the back rooms, it doesn't look good, does it? It just doesn't look good.
Well, they're not. They're going to be on the floor of the convention, Stuart. And look, all these polls that show Hillary Clinton potentially winning are about as valuable as an ice maker is in the North Pole. Okay. I mean, we're 7 months out, for goodness sakes. Nobody thought Donald Trump would be in this position.
That's an interesting analogy you got right there, David. But thanks very much for being with us on a Monday morning. David Avella, everyone. Thanks very much, sir.